Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today is one of my favorite videos to do. That is clutch update videos. We cut all of our clutches live, so if you're new to the channel, that's one thing you have to look forward to. We had a really weird year. We're still having eggs, thankfully. So we had a big gap. So you haven't seen the clutch cutting video in a while, but there's more coming, I promise. And now it's time for our first clutch update. This has taken a little longer than I wanted because the OCD part of me wants to go in order. And I'm not ready to show clutch number 1 yet, simply because I want to wait till one more shed, and they're just not as big as clutch number 2. The reason I'm waiting for a second shed is to try to get a better identity on some of the snakes. I'll share with you a little bit of that. Like the snake here is, likely a Super Mojave, but I want to get one more shed to see, is it a Super Mojave or is it a Mystic Potion? Because some of the other ones are kind of in the same boat. See, like this one, you can see it's got more of a yellow stripe, a little more lavender color in it. So I do think, we'll probably have some of both. My guess is Mystic Potion here, JHR Super Mojave here, but I do want to give it just a little more time to really see for sure what I'm working with. So that's why we're not doing that clutch. But we are doing clutch number 2, which brings us to the first one, which is this little one right here, 190201. You can see it's doing great. We had 9 eggs in this clutch. We had 9 healthy babies. All have hatched. All are doing wonderful. And this is a little bitty GHI. As a matter of fact, this one is a GHI female. So I just want to share that with you. I love our brand of GHI. Our original GHI came from, like a lot of our stuff, from Tallgrass Reptiles. And I just love the colors on it. They hold a really nice dark color, a really cool bronze, just beautiful, beautiful animals. So we'll go ahead and put that one back. And the pairing on this clutch, I guess I should show you that or share that with you, was a GHI to a Mojave. So, about dropped that one. 190201, who laid a big old log in there. Oh my goodness. You took a massive poop. Where's my paper towels? This is a little normal. You're going to have normals in a lot of clutches, especially when you're working with just a couple genes, which in this case we were running 2 genes. So that is not an uncommon occurrence to have a handful of these guys in that. But still, we want them to be healthy. From a monetary standpoint, this isn't what you're wanting to see as a ball python breeder. But truthfully, from an animal standpoint, it has just as much value in its life as the GHI or the GHI Mojaves we're going to show. So you still owe it to this animal to take good care of it, which you can see we've done. Very, very healthy. Doing very, very well. Now I was thinking about lining up and having a defensive pop. Put you back in there. I gotta come back and see you later though. You took a sized turd in there. 190203, just like we talked about a second ago. Kind of the same thing going on. Another little normal here. If you give me a second, I can wake my file back up. I'll tell you what sex this one is. It is actually going to be a female. So was the other one. So we did have a couple, and they're really cool looking normals. I mean, you can see belly pattern on them there. It's hanging out there. It flipped over. And you don't have a big turd in yours. I like you better. 190204. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. So this is what this clutch was all about, and that was making GHI Mojaves. Really beautiful. Now, as these age a little bit more, this will probably turn to even a brighter color. Ours, we have a female from the same pairing we held back last year. She has really maintained her colors and that darkness, so it's just beautiful. Almost a full stripe. As a matter of fact, if you start there, you get a little break and a little break. A couple little breaks there and then there. And then a break there. Then at the tail there's some. But you have a really nice dorsal striping on this animal. Just gorgeous. This little GHI Moho is also going to be a female at 190204. Now, last year, guys, I did 2 pairings of GHI to Mojave. This year I only did 1, okay? And in 2 pairings, and all the eggs we had, I hit exactly 1 GHI Mojave. And I knew right away I was keeping it. This year, though, and doing a single pairing, we actually hit multiples. We actually have 3 of these to share with you. This one here is probably my favorite one of the clutch. It is a male. And I am not going to end up keeping it because it is a male and I don't need a male GHI Mojave, although I did kick it around, I'll be honest. Really cool looking snake. Colors are beautiful. Here's the coolest part though. It actually has, if I can find it, there it is, a paradox spot that looks like, getting a good light there, just this orange spot. It is a very odd paradox because, like I say, the genes that are in it, it's just kind of cool. So it looks like somebody put a cigarette out on it or a cigar out on it, I'm not going to lie. Really neat looking animal, really neat little paradox spot. And that is the only one it has. Everything else is perfectly normal for it, and just a lot of darkness in the snake. So this is what I would consider my favorite snake of that clutch as far as the look of it goes. And that would be 190205, the GHI Mojave Male Paradox. Put you back in there. Showed 190206, and somebody's probably wondering, hey Matt, this is great. How do I get one of these GHI Mohos? Well, this is where I get to do a little advertising. How you do that is you sign up on Patreon, because the same time I'm releasing this video, we're releasing these animals for purchase on our Patreon. What they don't purchase, then we'll filter down and we will make available at shows. If it doesn't sell at shows, we will then make it available online. You may say that seems like a pain in the ass and kind of unfair, but the simple part of it is, here's why I do that, guys. One, I've worked in this industry now for a good number of years, and I can tell you that selling online comes with some dangers for us as vendors. I don't know who I'm selling to. There's scams. Our shop, we had some people try to scam us out of Chicago not too long ago, or what was it, $4,000 or $5,000?
Yeah, stolen credit cards.
Using stolen credit cards. Luckily, we kind of figured it sounded kind of fishy. We challenged it, and we didn't lose anything. But there's always that risk. On Patreon, I know those people. I can see who they are. There's a little bit more of a relationship there to sell to. So I much prefer doing that, or I much prefer selling at shows, with the internet being kind of my last resort. So that's how I do it. And you may not agree with that. That's okay. I'm still going to do it that way. But if you don't want to join, that's fine. I still want you here to watch. I still want you on our YouTube channel. But I just want you to understand that's how we do our sales, and that is why. So with that, I'll show you the next GHI Mojave female. And again, just a beautiful, beautiful snake, a lot of darkness. I think there's more breaks in this dorsal stripe than the first one I showed you. So if you want that more complete dorsal stripe, that's a better snake. If you like the breaks in the dorsal stripe on these, kind of like that almost Morse code ... dash pattern going on, this is a snake for you. It's all kind of a personal preference. You gonna run around there, little girl? She does not have any paradoxing. She is just a straight up GHI Mojave. Really cool. And you can see how healthy these are. You know what? Let me put these guys on the scale really quick. Give you a weight on this one. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be. Let's just give you an idea. Of course, we never get rid of anything until it's at least 80 grams. I bet this is there. 93. Boom. See? So they're doing wonderful. And that was 190206. 190207 is next. And this is another GHI. So you can see how the difference is between that Mojave. That interaction between those two genes is just amazing. We do have a GHI lesser pastel clutch coming, but I just love what GHI does. This is one of those snakes when I first saw it on video and things. I was kind of like, eh. You know, and then when I saw them in person, I was like, oh my God, I just wanted them. So I think they come out better in person than they do on video personally, but they are awesome, awesome animals. And then too, they let you do a lot of things with a lot of dark colors. And then we're going to finish up with whatever we want to call it. Well, I guess not finished. We have 9 in this one. This is 190208. We could call it a normal. We could call it a traditional. We could call it a classic. We could call it a straight out of Africa. Whatever we want to call it. But again, a wild type. So this is what you would find roughly if you were out looking for snakes, you know, where they're located. Straight up traditional ball python. Really cool. A lot of reduction in the alien head. You're not getting a lot of the spotting in there. So kind of a neat animal there. I'll put you back. And 190209 is the last one. This is probably the smallest one of the clutch. This is another little normal. Now she is doing okay. I say she, I'm not even sure. I'll have to double check. You gotta make logs when you have as many babies as we do, because you will not remember. Right? It's actually he. And he has been eating. He is a little smaller than his siblings, but you know, he may have missed a meal in there somewhere. But we'll look. I bet he's still getting close to 80, but probably not quite there. Yep, 75. So my hand scale's working pretty good today. But you can see he has more of the dots in the alien heads than the other one I showed you. So it depends what you're really looking for in your normals. You know, this is what I'm talking about, more of the marks in the alien heads. There's like a perfect ET head right there. Phone home. So it all kind of depends on what you want. All right, guys, I'm going to put this little guy back. And that is everybody for clutch number 2. Just so you guys are aware, as we're starting to roll out these clutch updates, you're going to be seeing a lot more of these in the near future with the videos coming out. And so far, I don't have any bad news to report, which is my favorite thing. So every egg up until this point that has been laid has hatched. I will go ahead and tell you, we've had 2 clutches where I had eggs where one of them I said never handled very well, but was a full-size egg, and it never developed vein work, and it did pass away. And we had one that was a little bitty teeny tiny egg and didn't really handle very well either, and it didn't make it either. So I did expect those 2 to fail, but those are clutches that are still in the incubator. Clutches 1 through 5 are hatched out and are 100%, and so far we're looking at being at about 97.5% with our current situation. Of course, that would be assuming everything that's in the incubator hatches. So, Kurt, anything you want to add?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to flip over to Patreon now, and we're going to sell those. We'll see you guys next week.